Welcome to the
Sisters Podcast.
The Sisters Podcast. All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Sisters Podcast. This is a little different. I usually, take my time to send out some questions with my guests and kind of talk, discuss what we're gonna talk about. But we're going straight off the dome.
Yeah.
I got my little cousin here, Blake. You charging your phone, each other. I got my little cousin here, and he came to visit me in Chicago, and we've just been having a really good time, and I haven't really thought about how I wanted to kind of wrap up this year with the podcast, and I was like, what better time than to sit here and chat with my little cuz. So everybody, welcome Blake.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
He said he wasn't shy.
Yeah.
The cameras is on, he's talking a little low, but I think once we start talking, he's gonna pick it up a little bit, I'll pick it up. So Blake, why don't you tell people where you're from and what you doing out here?
From Bridgeport, grew up with Jazz, she's my cousin, we're all from Connecticut, and I'm in school right now at Southern Connecticut, and it's been a little rough patch, trying to figure out what I want to do, and Jazz hit me at the perfect time, and was like, yo, what you doing for your birthday? And I'm like, nothing. She's like, come to Chicago, and I was like, bet, let's do it. So here I am.
And here he is, and it's crazy because me and Blake, we grew up with each other. My mom and his dad are brothers and sisters, and wherever Blake was, I was. Wherever I was, he was. His dad would drop him off at my mom's house, and he always was with us. So Blake was that little brother that I never asked for. I'll never forget when I found out that my uncle was having you, and I was like, dang, he's stealing all my uncle time, because my uncle was my second dad, but Blake came in, and wherever he was, I made sure Uncle Meek, make sure you got a room for me because I'm coming over. So we grew up a lot with each other. We were always in the gym with each other. Blake was that little brother where if you go into the courts and your mom telling you to bring your brother, it wasn't even that type of time because he was just right behind me. So we really bonded and built a connection young. But I think as we got older, life happens. This is our first time in a minute where we really had a chance to sit down, talk, debrief, and I just as even though I'm not home anymore, one thing that I always want to make sure that I'm doing is staying connected with my cousins and my sisters and my family. So once I hit Blake up, like we said, it was perfect timing for him to come out here. And ever since you've been out here, what's your take on it?
Yo, I love it out here. I'm not gonna lie. When I got the text from Jazz and she was like, you want to come to Chicago? I'm thinking do I want to go to Chicago? I'm I don't know what's out there. And I know Jazz been here and she liked it, so I was like, let me go see. And it's I love it out here. It's a better New York. And some people gonna watch this and be like, yo, what did he just say?
Right.
No, it's better than New York. From the food, the people, the scenery, and it's huge. I thought Chicago, when you hear Chicago and you from Connecticut, you think the hood.
Right.
You just think the hood, or what you see on Instagram and TikTok. Got out here, and I'm there's so much out here.
So much. And it's crazy because we didn't even get to explore everywhere. We just kind of went to a couple different restaurants, but it's huge. And I think the biggest part for me is having a place for people to come continue to be inspired. So like you said, you back at home, you see the same four walls, the same people. Sometimes it just, you get comfortable. So what's one thing now that you're out here that you want to do when you get back home?
As soon as I get home, I'm getting my passport.
Facts.
So that's the first thing I'm doing. My mom's been telling me get your passport. And I've just been putting it off because I'm I'll do that later. But getting out here, it showed me there's so much more than Connecticut. You don't have to stay there. You get too comfortable, what she said. I was comfortable in Connecticut. I'm okay, I know everybody here. It's your comfort zone. Comfort kills people, literally. Mm-hmm. So I got out here and it's just okay, it's not too late.
Right.
I can still do something more. I can get out here, make new friends, new connections. You can do anything.
I love what you said. It's not too late. Sometimes we talked about this too. The timeline that we have for our lives growing up is nothing compared to where we're at right now. So it's for me, even last year this time, I would never thought that I would be in Chicago. I would never thought that I'll be coaching again. I wrote off a lot of things that I'm here, but I do think you die of that dream, or that, not even want to say, I don't even want to say the dream. You died that life you thought you was gonna have for the life that you accept in front of you, and I think that helps you to like not be so caught up in like, dang, I should have been here, I should have been there. Like, we both suffered injuries, massive injuries, knee injuries. It runs in our genes, something crazy. But
Crazy.
if you would have asked me, my senior year of high school, if this is where I would be with my knee injuries and, barely scoring 500 points in college, like, I would look at you like I'm crazy. Like, no, I'm a 1,000-point scorer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a bucket. But life comes at you. There's some things adversity that you hit that you don't see coming. But, like, I think once I've accepted where I was in life and, just kept my eyes open to the possibilities of what else, I think that's when, like, my perspective changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that for you, like, and we're wrapping up this year, rough year for you, and that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
like, what's something that you learned from this year, or that you experienced this year that you're not gonna take with you, and that like you're thinking about, yeah, I need to take this approach next year?
Something this year, like, I learned a lot about myself this year. Like, I learned, like, what I thrive in, what I don't thrive in. And if I were to do anything differently this year, I would have, like, not wait. Like, I like to wait till last minute to do stuff, like, from school sometimes, and even basketball, like, because I've been, sometimes, like, when you're good at something, you're like, what, I can hold off or whatever, but, like, the time is now sometimes, and you gotta, like, if you got an opportunity to do something, don't put it off. Like, do as much as you can in that moment so you don't look back at it and be like, I wish I did more.
Right.
That's what I learned from this year. Like, do as much as possible so that when it comes down the line, you're like, man, I should have did more. Like, no, you did as much as you could, so you can't even knock yourself.
Facts.
Yeah.
No, that's real. I think, and that's a great perspective to have, because if I would have like held off in the beginning of the year of like, I'm gonna just be honest. 2023 was rough. That was a bad year for me. 2024 healed me, and 2025 like it made me. Like, I was like, no, I'm going to go on the trip for my birthday. No, I'm gonna go to the Final Four for the first time. I'm gonna go to a podcast event. I'm gonna do the things that I had the time to do, and it prepared me for when I got the call to move. Because I was like, I had the tough conversations. I did what I wanted to do. I didn't leave off with any regrets. And I think that's the biggest thing. What you say is like the time that you think we have. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. But like, if you live every day like this is a fresh opportunity, a new opportunity for you to like go after what you want, I think that helps you to be like, all right, like, it's not so bad to be in the mindset of like, dang, I wish I should have done that, or like, or it's like, no, I actually did it, and now that I'm here, it's like I don't have as much time as I did before, but I'm glad I did everything I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Blake actually had an opportunity to come with me to a recruiting trip, and sitting there and we had the opportunity to just watch one of the players we were looking at, and just that time spent, we were in the gym for about an hour and a half. I learned so much about you that I didn't even know. Like, we come from a basketball family, if you didn't know, but like, there's so many different things that we all have that about the game that we didn't see. So for me, listening to you like read the game, and I'm like, oh snap, I didn't even look at it that way. I didn't look at that this way. Like, tell the people like your passion for basketball, and like what made you, how'd you get to here?
Oh, not like born into it, but like I was born into it. Like Jazz said, we grew up. Everybody plays basketball, from aunts to uncles to sisters to cousins. Like, it's just what you're around, and no one forced it on us either. It was just like, that's what everybody's doing. You just like, you want to do it too. And so like, I started playing basketball when I was young, like with my dad and with Jazz. Like, first memories I have in the gym is with Jazz. Like, me and my dad, Jazz, and Jazz is doing moves, and I'm watching Jazz, and I'm trying to try it, and that's just how it went. And like, I fell in love with the game. Like, at first I was like, I'm doing this, like, I like being around my family doing it, like when I was with Jazz, and then I grew like a love for it, and it's like I breathe it now. Like, so when I watch basketball, it's like I'm looking at everything. I'm not just looking at like, oh, who's scoring. I'm looking like, oh, he come off the screen right here, he roll, the shake is all the way on the other side of the court. Like, I'm just looking at the little things, like, did they tag? Like, we was at the game, and I didn't expect like what we saw. Like, we watching warm-ups, and we like, oh, we just looking at each other like this might go left or whatever. They shocked us, and I'm watching the girl on the other team, and I'm like, yo, I noticed she's a righty, but she jabbing left every time she catch the ball. And Jazz like, like, I didn't even peep that, but like, I'm watching the little things like, okay, she's going crazy right now. How would you stop her? But I'm like, she catching it every time, and she's jabbing left, but she's a righty. And then it confused me too. She jabbing left, but going right. And then she jab left and go left. And I'm like, okay, she's just a good all-around player. Like, that's something, but I like to watch and break the game up. Like, my sister had a game today. I made a highlight film. Soon as I went on huddle, chopped it up, like all her little things, and I'll send her feedback. She called me after the game, like, Blake, go watch my game. And I'll tell her, like, okay, you could have did this, but you played great. This right here, you could have shot that. That person's open. You got to know the personnel on the floor. Like, I just love it. Like, every part of the game. Like, I'm watching. We got a game playing behind us.
Literally
right now.
behind us right now. And we've been watching basketball. And I'm like, maybe he's getting tired of it. I'm like, nope, we literally watch basketball. And it's funny because, like, I remember when I was in Connecticut and my friends used to come over. They'd be like, yo, every time I come over here, it's basketball. I'm like, I watch the show on my own time. But, like, if we sit here and y'all ain't watching the show, we gonna watch basketball. Yeah. So, like, and I think it's so crazy to me, like, when I heard the story about his stepmom's mom had bought him some action figures, and it's WWE action figures, and he's in our grandmother's house setting them up in a 2-3 zone, and I'm listening to him talking, I'm like, yo, first of all, one, how do you remember that? But, like, how old were you?
It was at 320, so I was 7, 8, 9
right,
years old.
like, setting up a zone defense and, like, creating for WWE players. Like, that's insane, but, like you said, kind of born into it. When you think back to, like, our relationship, like, what is your favorite memory?
Going to the YMCA with Jazz. Like, my dad would drop me off during, like, a Friday. He'd go wherever he go, and me and Jazz, everybody in the house, and mind you, like, I'm the only boy growing up, and there's 5 girls in the house, and Jazz is like, yo, you want to go to the park, or you want to go to the gym, and we'll go straight to the Y. And I'm playing with high schoolers, some college kids, and she telling them, like, yo, don't go easy on him. And I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm not like, what? I'm like, and that's how I got better. And, like, Jazz always made sure, like, I can always remember, like, when we was always on the same team, and it was nothing but encouragement. Through my mistakes, if I did something well, it was always encouragement. And that built my confidence something crazy as a kid, because, like, I'm out here playing with older people. Right. So when I play against people my own age, I'm not even thinking twice. It's just like, I know I do this or whatever. But Jazz has always been that person, like, to get me out the house, like, all right, come on, we're going to go hoop. And it was never like, I don't want to go. I was like, bet, from outside, we'd be out there all day, to the Y, to the driveway. We used to move the hoop at Hazelwood, bring it right to the street. Cars going by, Jazz be like, watch out. Like,
put the cement in the back of the hoop.
We played 21 all day.
Oh my gosh, yo, wow. You're opening like a window of, like, stuff that I totally forgot about. But it's just like, it's true. Like, I feel like that's where, like, real ballers gained it from. Like, going to play against, like, in the streets and going to the parks and going to the Y and LA Fitness. Like, you were always with me now that I think about it. And, like, I mean, that's definitely one of my favorite memories, too. And I think just, like, us going to the Jim Calhoun Hall of Fame alumni games. Every 2 years, we used to be out there. We taking pictures with Kimba, Ray Allen, Richard Hamilton, like, everybody on the court. And I'm just like, you know, my uncle played at UConn, so it was like, you know, he was out there with them. But I'm just, like, stargaze, because I'm like, I really, you know, we're on the court with all these great players, but people are, like, trying to run them down for autograph and get pictures.
People asking us, like, yo, tap in.
Right.
And I'm like, hey.
And me and my uncle and Blake, we just over here smiling, taking pictures with them. But, like, that's just, you know, my uncle, all my uncles, like, they're like my second dads. But, like, I was always with Uncle Meat and Blake, and we were always together at games. And, you know, just the fact, like, that bond and that connection, and we were talking about it, like, you know, no family is perfect. Like, every family got their stuff to it, but, like, the love and the connection that our family has is like no other. So it's like, you know, it's crazy, because now Blake is doing with his sister the things that I did with him, and I didn't even realize that until we, like, had these conversations and, like, just talking about different things. Because, like I said, like, you know, you in school, I'm out here, I was in school while you was, like, growing up. So it's like, that time away, you kind of like be focused on what's in front of you. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm so glad to know that like none of that stuff that we did growing up was in vain, and like helped us to continue to stay connected. And it's just a true testament of like family and the bond and stuff like that. So it's like, what's your take like coming out here, and like obviously our conversation that we had, like what do you remember, like how do you feel, like open up a little bit about that.
I feel great about going back home. Like, I'm glad that I came here because like mentally I was in a state of like I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like it was rough because like from 2022 to now, like 2022 was a rough year. That was my freshman year at Post. Then I had the knee injury, but that summer of August of 2022 I broke my wrist.
Right.
And so I had to put a screw in my wrist, and I work all the way back. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I had to relearn how to shoot, like, and then get to Post. I'm hooping, tear my cartilage in my knee, and it's just like, okay, that was a mental setback. Like, oh, I just worked this hard, And then that was in October, and then December, my freshman teammate that came in with me got shot and killed. Yeah. And so it was like mentally for me, like I wasn't there. Like it was just like, okay, like why? Like I was like, why me? I wasn't looking at the brighter side of things. It was just like I checked out mentally, and so then my freshman year, like I dropped out of school my freshman year, and then 2023 and 2024 I was working, like just figuring out what I wanted to do, and that's when I realized, like, because I'm with Olivia all the time, and we working out in the gym. And I had 3 knee surgeries throughout the year. So, like, each year from 2022, 2023, and 2024, I had knee surgery because, like, my knee was still bothering me.
Right.
And the last knee surgery, it went well. I went to physical therapy, and I'm like, okay, like, I can still do this. Like, it ain't too late. I got 4 years of eligibility. I'm like, I can really go and hoop somewhere, And so I started to make that my goal. I was like, I'm going to get somewhere and get back to doing what I love, like, because I found happiness in doing it. And so that's why I'm at school now, and it didn't go how I wanted to this year. Getting back into school, things happened, and I was like again, like, okay, I worked this hard, and when you work so hard, and it feels like it's never enough. Like that's where I was at mentally, and then you hit me, and
stop, I'm gonna cry.
And then you hit me, and because I wasn't planning on doing nothing for my birthday. So many people, because last year I was working, I threw a party for my birthday. It was like a big thing. Everybody hit me again, yo, you gonna throw another party for your birthday? I threw it at Ray Allen's house.
Right.
And so they're like, yo, like, what are you doing for your birthday? What are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna let you know. I don't know yet, because I wasn't planning on celebrating my birthday. Because mentally, I'm like, it wasn't nothing for me to celebrate. That's how I was looking at it. And then Jazz hit me, and she was like, what are you doing for your birthday? And I was like, nothing for real, like, And here I came out here, and it changed my whole perspective on things. Like, when you somewhere and you see the same thing all the time, and you don't see something new, you just start thinking like this is all it is. Like, you just gotta accept defeat. But coming out here, seeing the city, being around her and some of her colleagues, going to the practice and just being around that and knowing like there's so much you can do. Like you're not limited to just like whatever goal you had, something can come out of it. Like it doesn't have to be exactly what it is, but like it leads to another path, and that's what I seen coming out here. And I'm so excited to go home because, like, I texted my dad last night. I was like, yo, like, I'm excited to come home. Like, I got some things I got to get done because, like, but my mindset, like, I had to get out in order to know, like, okay, let's lock back in.
Right. And you said so many great things, and I'm so glad we were able to make this happen. And it's like, for me and anyone that's watching this, it's like, when you have that tug or you feel that nudge in you to like do something, to reach out, to like check in, like don't take that in vain. I think that's very important that you follow that initial. I know, like I always say, life be life, and at the end of the day, like if like for me, if I'm going through it or if I'm thinking about something or if there's something going on, I know the next person is doing it. And it's like family those are the people that you don't choose. Like these are people that God put you together with, and like you got to take care of that. Like those are the people that you can't take for granted. And like I say, like all the time, like I already started with, like every family has its pros and cons, but like when you continue to love on each other, when you continue to have the conversations, when you continue to talk about your feelings or like the things that you're going through, you get to learn each other a little bit more. We grew up with each other, but like I don't know the last time when we had a long conversation like this, and it wasn't anything. Like every time we see each other, I'm hugging you, like what's up, Blake? I love you. Like where you at? Like it's always a good check in, but like sometimes you like need that one-on-one time. Like sometimes you need that like let me call and like make sure like and like you said I'm always doing it with Mila. Obviously I'm doing it with my sisters, but like with you like it's like. God, like we, and I don't even want to say it like that, but it's like true, like, oh, the guys is fine, like, they good, like, they got their boys or whatever the case may be, but like, sometimes they may need that big sister, that little brother, like, the conversation, and like, I'm sorry, like, no, for real, because like, I text and the cousin group chat and like, but like now, anytime you want to come out here, you come out here. Anytime you need to pick up the phone and call me, we do so. But I think it starts when you have the conversation. Yeah. And we talked about that. We had a really great conversation yesterday. But like just talking about different things. But like the talking, the conversation starts it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Yeah. I think as we wrap up this year. Like you said, like I'm just glad that like your beginning of the year didn't ruin your end of the year. For sure. I'm just glad that like there was some hope left for the last 2025 for you to walk into 2026. And right. I think sometimes when we take a step back, I told you I started journaling in 2023 and reading my journal from last year, I would never thought I would be here right here, like in this moment. Yeah. 2023 broke me, 2024 healed me. 2025 made me because I made a decision in 2024 to not live in the past no more. Mm-hmm. And if that's apologizing to people that I felt like should have been apologizing to me, that's me like not wanting to be hurt from the things that they did to me. Or if that's me like letting go of what I thought where I would be or like who I would be with and all that type of stuff in that year, like that made me like more focused on being in the present. And I'm not gonna lie, the future is always in my mind. Like I'm always thinking about what's next, but like this year taught me like you never know what's gonna happen next. Your life could change like this, like in 1 year. I was literally in Connecticut this time last year, like so it's like the possibilities of being present and being open and like not being comfortable helps you to like make that walk down the next path.
For sure. And sometimes like the mind is a strong thing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes like you get in your own head. Sometimes like. And that's where I was, like, struggling with the guys. Like, I don't talk a lot. Like, if all my cousins know, like, I'm known as, like, I'm always smiling, laughing, making jokes. Like, I do not talk a lot. Like, this is probably, like, new for Jazz. Like, I don't talk. Like, I make jokes. Right. I talk basketball. But, like, about life, like, we grew up on tough love. It was a little different. Like, we grew up on real tough love. Right. Like, you be all right. Like, so this is, like, new for me. And I'm trying to, like, get used to expressing myself and talking about things and it doesn't make you weak. Right. Like, and they never said that. But like in my mind, that's what I told myself. So it's always, I'm good. Like, I'll figure it out. But stuff piles on top of each other sometimes. And it gets to a point sometimes. And then that's when mentally, like, that's where I was at when I was at school. I was like, and then Jazz texted me. And yeah.
And I don't, like, that word you said, like, you made you weak, and like we weren't taught that. Like that's not something that people said to us. But also, when you're so strong for so long, or like you're the one, or like the one that people come, like it's like you don't know when to let that guard down to like release more than being weak. It's just like you have a spot that you need mending. And I think sometimes it's crazy because I feel like it always takes one person to kind of like get you to see that like you talking about what's going on in your life is not weak. Yeah. I'll never forget when one of my colleagues had said like I always had that perspective of like, oh, it could always be worse. Mm-hmm. But she said just because it could always be worse doesn't mean it didn't affect you. And I'm like, that's a fact. That's true. Yeah, that is all. You're also very true. I have nothing to say to that. But it is. I think also too knowing your family's history helps you to see that like you can do things a little differently by being smarter about different decisions that we make. Yeah. Sometimes like the older generation or the people in front of us didn't have the help, they didn't have the release, they didn't have or know what it's like to talk and let some things out, and now that you're in a place where you're like, oh, okay, I actually can do this, you're setting yourself up to kind of change that narrative and help not only yourself but the future generations behind us.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we kind of talked on as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot we talked about last night. We was chatting last night.
Like, we was
chatting.
And it was cold. We walking around freezing. Like, I'm going to tell y'all a funny story. We're at a restaurant, and we're sitting at the bar table, and we just talking. We going back and forth. We talking. The music turns down a little bit, but we just still talking. Like, we just like, maybe they about to close. Next thing you know, we see sirens behind us. We turn around. Somebody getting arrested.
Right behind us. Like, we sitting just like this at the bar. We turn around right here. Lady, like, there's a cop right here, and the lady arrested.
Getting arrested. Some old lady. We just saw her sitting at the table, so we was so confused, but we was just locked in on, like, just having a conversation with each other. And even after we turned around and saw her getting arrested, we like, just...
And we kept chatting. We was like, all right, yeah, so...
Well, we gotta get our check and go, but, I'm so happy that you came. Like I said, I didn't know how it was gonna end this year. I knew I wanted to get another episode out. I knew I wanted to kind of talk to the people. I do want to have a Chicago edition. Work has been really tough, right? Not tough, but like I've been really locked in work. So like, but I don't want to get so caught up in what's going on in front of me that I leave the Sisters podcast out. So that's not a thing. I am proud to say that, and I didn't even get a chance to tell you, but Connect Sis, which is the sister to the Sisters podcast, has officially been a nonprofit organization. I created a business this year. I'm very excited to get that going and get that started. That was something that wasn't on my bucket list.
Congrats,
thank you. I appreciate it. It's exciting. The women that's been on Connect Sis with me, my leaders. Z, Cam, Ray, Liz, Nia, Tess, like, thank you guys. I appreciate you for just pushing me and helping me to stay on top of it. We took a break this month with Connect Sis because everybody was just holidays and people are going home and stuff like that. I wanted to give everybody some time to kind of focus on the new year, but January 2026, we starting back up. I'm going to have a conference May 2026, so... women only, I'm sorry, but yeah, y'all continue to pray for me and help me get this thing moving. So, but like my goal for real is to continue to do the podcast and continue to have guys up here and continue to show some love to the brothers. And I'm so glad that I'm able to end it off with you because it's like the conversation don't have to stop with me. Like, it can be with your friends. It can be with your dad. It can be with our uncles. Like, it can be like something that becomes regularly than like once every now and then. And I think
I feel like that would be great.
It would be great. Yeah,
that would be great. Like, I feel like that would like help a lot and like heal a lot too. Like, we gotta talk about things. Like, everybody's just everybody just assume everybody okay and deal with it on their own. Nah, we gotta talk.
And it's something that is necessary. And I gotta put you on my boy. I had him on up here. He does like a men's mental health cookout every summer. He's living in Connecticut. But it's like, I think once you start to do it with your people, it'll help you to do it with other men. Because it gotta start first home. It gotta we gotta talk about the things the cobwebs that we never dusted off. And it's one of those things where our family is like it's male dominated from like the generation above us, but from then down it's like all women.
Blake, I grew up with nothing but female cousins, like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, that's like girls all the time. That's not your cousin. I'm like, yo, you don't understand. Like,
don't get
there's so many of us, like, and it's just mostly girls. Me and DJ for real. First cousin,
him, DJ, Lil Kurt, and Lil Kurt is in Seattle. But it was just him and DJ, and but it that doesn't mean that it has to be just y'all. Like, even if it's us cousins like coming together, and we're all different parts. Like, Shy's in North Carolina, DJ's in Florida, like, and I'm in Chicago, and everybody's back home. But like, even if it's on Zoom or even if it's on like FaceTime or something, just getting us together, and And that's for everybody that's watching too. Like, you know, like if you watching this right now and there's someone that came up at the top of your mind that you need to reach out to, that you need to heal with, that you need to say something with. And I do want to address that too. Because I said I apologized to people that I felt needed to apologize to me. You'll be waiting forever for people to apologize to you. You'll be waiting forever for people to like admit that they're wrong and, you know, address the situation at hand. But like you having that conversation and getting it off your chest helps you to move forward, even if it take them a little while to click in and be like, like I heard her or I heard him but like I'm not there yet. But like if you have that conversation with them, if you heal from the stuff that they've done to you or said to you, that helps you, and like you're not looking back at them like while they living their life. You know what I'm saying? Like while they out here just
and you like,
chilling,
yo, they ain't
like,
really gonna ever say that.
Right.
Like, it's stuck on your mind. But if you go and you say something first, like I did my part.
You did your part. You did your healing. You did what you needed to do to move forward. And I think that is something that is it's healthy. And like, you know, we grew up in the church. Like forgiving is something that like God asks for us. He asks us to love and he asks us to forgive. And like if you're holding on to something that's hindering your progress from moving forward, that's hindering you from like you know, getting to that other side of the road where God actually wants you to get to. So it's like you know, it's easier said than done. I will say that it takes some time, but like just some advice that I like helped me. Obviously therapy, talking, having conversations, journaling, big difference in my life. Like I will say that I manifested not exactly where I'm at right now, but manifested like what I wanted or what I wanted to accomplish this year and like what I'm looking forward to like moving forward in. Like, and I would say like we talked about it. Like I didn't think you know, the 20s is we lived. We did everything. Like we not even did everything, but like we partied, we did this, we did that, like. But like the 30s is where like it was a different side of it locked in. Like the 30s is for me this first year of 30 was like I actually took the initiative to do the things that I said I wanted to do. Like when I created that 30 bucket list, like I have most of that checked off, and some of the stuff that I don't is just like going to a cabin or like just doing different stuff that I didn't get the chance to. But like when you like set a plan in front of you instead of like I don't even want to say like what's your New Year's resolution. I ain't even like no like make a goal or like set some things that you want to accomplish next year and watch it manifest in front of your face with walking through the path that like I'm gonna actually do this to set it. So it's like I think that's something big that has helped me, and you know I hope we continue to help others too.
Yeah, I definitely want to start journaling too, because like my mother's told me, you know, when you hear it from your parents sometimes, this is like, all right, mom, like I might try it, but like hearing it from other people, it's like, okay, maybe I should try something new. You know, when you do the same things over and over again and you get the same results, it's literally insanity. So you gotta step out your comfort zone and do things. Cause like I tried journaling before, but like a long time ago, and then I was just like, nah. But like getting older and realizing like it's not doing nothing that can hurt you. You know, like, and you can go back and look at that stuff too. Like my mom's been journaling for years. She always tells me all the time, like I can go back to high school. She's been journaling, and she always tells me to do it. I never want to do it, but I think I'm gonna start.
I think you should. That would be great. I'm so happy you were able to come in here.
Me too.
I love you. You know that our bond goes deeper. This is the brother that I never knew I wanted.
It was my first sister. My first sister.
Now we here. But I really just wanted to encourage anyone that's going into this new year, going into the holidays. I know Christmas and the end of the year could be daunting for a lot of people, but I just want to encourage you guys to be present, right now. Love on the people that's around you. Continue to create the memories. There's so much life to live, and we got to appreciate the time that we have for sure. So, yeah, my sisters, my brothers, I love you guys. And Blake, if you don't have anything else to say.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, no problem. Until next episode, I'll catch y'all later. I had the chance to rewatch that episode now that Blake is gone, and it just made me smile because for so many reasons. He ended up staying a couple of days later because his flight got canceled home because it was snowing back home. And I truly believe everything happens for a reason. The time that we continue to spend with each other, and it just solidified a lot of things that we had talked about. But for me, it was one of those things that it didn't just help him, it helped me. I had a rough week prior to him coming, and I didn't know how our visit was going to go, but I wanted to make sure that he enjoyed himself. I wanted to make sure that he had a good time, and I want to be clear about something. um I know he said I hit him up at the right time, and he was able to come out here, but that was God working through me. That was God tugging on my heart to reach out to him to see if he wanted to come to Chicago, because that's God. That was God working through me. And if I wasn't obedient to the assignment that God placed on my heart, he wouldn't have been here to tell his story, to experience Chicago, but not only experience it, to get that perspective for him to go home and just walk into 2026, into a new year and a new mindset with a new perspective. So I do want to make sure I say that this year has been very good for me. And before I moved to Chicago, I was going to a church back in Connecticut called Vertical. It's in West Haven. And the word of the year was focus. And I'm so glad that I stayed focused from January to December, despite the hurt, despite the betrayal, despite the losses. I There was a lot of wins this year, and I in my Connected Sis group, when we met last month, I said, go back from January till now and write down one good thing that has happened to you in each month. And you'll be so amazed to see the things that has happened that you might have forgotten about because of, the bad things that has happened to you this year, that you forgot about the good. But we need to remind ourselves of the good that's going on in our lives, because the devil wants to take us down with all these negative things that are happening to us and happening in the world. And he wants us to be distracted by that. But I'm so glad that I stayed focused on not just like what I wanted out of this year, but building my relationship closer with God. I feel like this year is the closest that I've been, you know, and reading and understanding the word. And obviously, I grew up in the church, but it's a different relationship when you actually take the time to do it for yourself. And that was something that I wanted to really focus on this year. And everything that has happened from January to December has been because of God and because of my focus and because of our relationship that we built. So I'm just excited, and I wanted to make sure that I in this last episode that I make known of why this year was such a great year for me, and why I was so focused and so locked in, and I had so much fun, and I've accomplished so much. I literally gave a speech to a high school, school and a prep school in the beginning of the year. I went to Cali for my birthday. I went to the Final Four for the first year. I went to a podcast event where I was able to pitch my podcast on iHeartRadio. I started a business. I moved to Chicago. Like, so many things has happened this year, but none of it would be possible if it wasn't for God. And like I said, 2023 was rough. 2024, I didn't want to live in my past anymore. I wanted to heal. And 2025 is when I just, allowed God to just, you know, take my life and bring me down the right path that He wants for me, and not the path that I think I need to walk on. And because His plans are so much greater than ours, they're so much greater. And I feel like, and this is just my testimony, and I'm hoping that it helps you with your journey. But the minute you just say, God, I need you, God, take my life, and it's not mine, it's yours, and whatever you want me to do in the journey that you're calling me to go down, I want to follow that journey. He'll take you to places that you will never imagine. And I'm just so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm just very excited for 2026. And, as I, mentioned with Blake, like, I would be lying to say the future's not in mind. I would be lying to say that there's some stuff that that there's stuff that I don't need to work on. I still need to work on some things. I'm not perfect. And that's another thing that I was able to fully let go of this year of perfection and chasing perfection. And one of the things that Blake and I talked about was, being the oldest granddaughter and being the oldest daughter, and that carries a lot of responsibilities, a lot of mistakes that I made. I didn't want to show my sisters or my little cousins the mistakes I made. I didn't want to show them my flaws. I didn't want to, show them the things that I was going through, because you want to be that person for them that they can look up to. But I was hurting not only myself but them by not showing my flaws, by not telling them the things and the mistakes I made, so they wouldn't have to make those mistakes. And try to paint this perfect image that I'm not. And one thing that God helped me with this year was to not. He's not looking for me to be perfect. He's looking for me to believe and believe more and believe greater and believe he has great plans for my life and believe that my mistakes are not my own and believe that I don't have to be ashamed of who I am or who I was. Like, he showed me that he loves me through all my flaws and everything that I've done or been through, and that he's going to continue to be with me in my walk with him. And so, for anybody that's listening on this other side and feel like you have to be perfect to have a relationship with God, that's not true. It's not at all true, because that's far from who I am. And if I painted that picture, if that's what you thought I was or I am, I'm not. You're literally sitting here to tell you that I'm not. I just believe that God has and always had great plans for me, and I want to continue to do and be the person that he called and created me to be. And once you let go of that shame, that guilt, that hurt, all these things that are holding you back from that relationship with him, you'll feel so much better. You feel so much free, and you'll just be in a place where, like, I can do this and I can walk this life with him. So I wanted to encourage you guys moving into the next year. I know, the future's scary. 2026 is a lot of things going on in social media and in the world right now, but I just want to encourage you guys to trust in God and have conversations with him and be honest about what you're thinking about, and he's just literally just waiting for you to have that conversation with him. And if talking about it is something that you're not comfortable with doing yet, listen, I don't went through 3 journals this year. And the first one or the last one I'm holding has half of 2024 in there, but I don't went through 3 journals this year of things emotions I felt, things I went through, good and bad. And to reread the things that I wrote down and to look back on it at the end of the year is like, wow, God will show you signs and different things to show you that you're on the right path, and that you're not making a mistake, and that you're following his word. Like, he will give you the signs. He'll talk to you, maybe not in that deep voice that you think he's going to talk to you in, but he'll definitely talk to you through people. He'll definitely give you that sign that you need to continue to go, to continue to be like, I hear you, Lord. I'm going to continue to walk this road. So it's not going to be easy at all, but it's going to be so worth it. And when you're with community and when you're with people who see that, and who can help you get through, or help you in this walk with Christ, it makes it 10 times better. So I'm not going to preach. I'm really not. I'm just very grateful for, where I am right now, and where God is going to continue to take me. And I just pray that you guys, stay with me, continue to walk with me, and continue to pray for me as I continue to pray for you guys. And 2026 is going to be a good year. So two things, because this is coming out soon. So two things for you guys. Write down from January to December one good thing that has happened to you this year that you're proud of. And for 2026, start to write down and manifest what you want God to do in your life then. And start it now. You don't have to be a New Year's resolution. It don't have to be, I'm going to wait till January to go to the gym, or I'm going to wait till this to do that. Like, girl, boy, do it now, okay? I didn't have my hair done when me and Blake did the episode. I got my hair done now. I'm gonna walk in to 2026 feeling good, because we deserve to. We deserve to. We work hard, and you know, it's time that we give ourselves the love and the joy and the grace that, you know, we deserve. So do it now. Don't wait. Do it now. Hope you guys enjoy your holidays, enjoy your loved ones. You know, it's the best time of the year, and I'm very excited to continue to do this with you guys. We started it January 2024. We about to be entering 2 years of the Sisters Podcast. It's so crazy, and a year or you know, halfway through the year of Connect Assist. So very, very excited to continue to build this relationship with you guys, and until next year, I'll see y'all January.